Good evening and welcome to Kofiland's Global Cooking Challenge. This is night 2 of cooking the food of the Solomon Islands. Tonight we're kind of winging it, sort of. We're going to be cooking noodles and shellfish with a sweet potato puree. And we're listening to music of the Solomon Islands, in case you're wondering what that is in the background. In case you're wondering where the Solomon Islands are, they're located right about there, just east of Papua New Guinea, near Vanuatu. Collection of about 1,000 islands over there. So this is the second night of cooking the food of Solomon Islands, and let's whip around. There's my head, and we will, that's the fisheye. One more try. There we go. Music will change a little bit, so don't get too freaked out. So here we go. This, curiously, is going to be kind of a fast cook, because both dishes prepare rather quickly. So it's going to be kind of a me prepping, and then it's going to cook as it cooks. So we'll see how that goes. Hey Diana, thank you for liking the restream. Let me get angle going here so y'all can see stuff and won't be blinded by the light. Okay. Okay, so once more, this is night 2 of the Solomon Islands. We did night 1 on Friday, and that came out rather well, actually. We did a fish curry and another curry that they both came out really, really well. Hey Diana, so good seeing you. Thanks for coming by. So we're doing noodles and shellfish, and this is, by the way, is the national anthem of the Solomon Islands. But we're doing noodles and shellfish and a sweet potato puree. Now here's the explanation. The noodles and shellfish, as I mentioned on Friday, there doesn't seem to be any particular cuisine of the Solomon Islands. It's sort of like generic, you know, Oceania. Where you have lots of fish and raw fruit and a certain dish which I kind of did, I think, for palau, which is a cassava wrapped in plantain leaves and steamed and stuff. And we've done that for a number of different type countries, corned beef and things like that. Remco, thank you for the like and for the restream there. Thank you very much. Good evening to you. You're in the Netherlands, I believe, I think. Looking for recipes, one thing that I've known about the islands of Oceania is that a lot of the food that you find when you go there will be Chinese restaurants. And you don't find a lot of, you know, the local food in restaurants. So what I did find was a recipe labeled as the Solomon Islands, which is shellfish, noodles and shellfish, which is actually kind of Chinese. Something that you would find in the urban area, like in Honiara, which is the capital of the Solomon Islands. Hey Derek, thanks for liking the restream. And then, of course, sweet potato is common throughout Oceania. And now the sweet potato that you'll find there closer to like New Zealand, my brain is locked up on me, but there's sort of like a purplish sweet potato, which was in my head until about 10 seconds ago, then it went right out. Which is slightly different flavor, but you can't really find that here in the US. So we're gonna go with the regular sweet potato. Hey Yolanda, so good seeing you. Thanks for coming by. Hey, thanks for the restream. So I'm gonna get the prep first, and then we will get to the actual cook, because the cooking itself is kind of remarkably fast. Kind of like the exact opposite of last week, where it was insanely slow. I'm gonna start out by peeling, yes, the Netherlands. Screenshot. My mom was saying, ¿Por qué hace mueco? Why are you always making faces? I was making faces in pictures. Making silly faces. So, we're gonna peel our sweet potatoes. Because really, it was hard. It was hard finding stuff. I tell you, it was legitimately hard finding recipes for Solomon Islands. curry that we did. Friday we did a fish curry, but then we did a second curry, and my brain is like locked up on what it was. They're both really good. Oh yes, the green papaya. I still have leftovers. What am I talking about? And that actually tasted better the next day than it did the first day. Just saying. So, well, let's peel our sweet potatoes. I'm going to go wash these first. I'm going to be right here. Love sweet potatoes. Yes, now, do you know the difference? I mean, I've mentioned this several times before. But, oh my goodness, there's our little lizard. He shows up on a window when I'm cooking on the other side. And I was wondering why the lizard's always on the window at night on the other side. And I realized it's because the light attracts bugs. And so then he decides the light's good for him in catching dinner. So sweet potatoes and yams, I mentioned, are really not the same thing. Even though in the U.S. we seem to use the term synonymously. But these are sweet potatoes, right here. Yams, we will call sweet potatoes yams, but yams are a different beast. They're like much bigger and root vegetable. When sometime in the, I'm guessing, I don't know, sometime during slave times in the U.S., they were trying to sell African Americans on eating sweet potatoes. And they decided to just call them yams because people in Africa were used to eating yams. And they said, well, just call them yams, and then, you know, people will think it's the same thing. And so that's how we came to call sweet potatoes yams. So, random information for you there. Hey, Lydia, thank you for the restream. So good seeing you. Of course, you know, your stream is the first thing I go to when I wake up in the morning. This is really weird. I mean, like, super weird. This can't be right. Solo on this Susuku bundle pan pipe. I'm assuming this will be done soon. This is some UNESCO World Heritage collection of CDs I found in the Solomon Islands. There we go, that one's done. Now it's Fataguana by the Ausili Penipe Ensemble. So, the Solomon Islands, again, 1,000, I don't know if you were here on Friday or not, but here's the info. The Solomon Islands, no the, just like Ukraine has no the, and Gambia has no the, although people do use the all the time, even there, is a collection of, is a nation of 1,000 some odd islands in the South Pacific, off the coast of Papua New Guinea, sort of, I believe, northeast of Vanuatu. But the weird thing about Solomon Islands, the nation, is that it's named for Solomon Islands, the island chain. But just like Micronesia, the Federated States of Micronesia, for instance, the Federated States of Micronesia is named for the collection of islands known as Micronesia. However, there are islands that are part of the island chain of Micronesia that are not of the nation of Micronesia. Similarly, there are islands that are part of the Solomon Islands island chain that are not part of Solomon Islands the nation, and there are islands that are part of Solomon Islands the nation that are not part of Solomon Islands the island chain. See if you can keep that all straight up in your head. People, now my numbers might be a little off, but as I recall, the people first arrived on these islands some 30,000 years ago, so wrap your brain around that one. Those first people were, which ones? They were the, I believe, the Melanesian people. Hey, Babs, thanks for the restream. But then about something like 26,000 years later, or 22,000 years later, you know, give or take a few thousand years, I can't pronounce the word, Austronesian, people from the native people of Australia and such, started arriving. So that's like, you know, many thousands of years later, and they brought with them what you think of South Pacific type stuff with the outrigger canoes and such. And then another, you know, 1,000+ years later, other people started arriving. I believe Polynesians started arriving. And they brought with them ceramics and pottery and such like that. So it's a mix of these people. Of course, then the Europeans, you know, discovered the islands in, I want to say the late 1500s. I could be off on that. Cheers to you, Babs. And then the Portuguese. No, the Spanish first found it. And they said, hey, this must have the riches of King Solomon here. For some reason, they thought that. So they dubbed it the Solomon Islands. And it kind of stuck. The Spanish didn't claim it, but people just kept claiming by the Dutch and the Germans and the French. And the British finally decided, you know, to, you know, claim it as a colony in the, I would say the late 1800s, which is, you know, kind of late. Jurgen, hey, thank you for the like and the restream. So that's the Solomon Islands. They, the British, they kind of came to control it, and then during World War II, the you know, the Japanese came in, and as the Japanese came in, the native people of Solomon Islands were sort of evacuated to Australia. And it was kind of a key position where the Solomon Islands are, and the Japanese were going to use it to kind of cut off communication lines between Australia, New Zealand, and the U.S. So it became quite a bone of contention, and it saw one of the fiercest battles of the Pacific theater in World War II. The island nation's capital, is Honiara, and Honiara is located on the island of Guadalcanal. And if you know anything about World War II, you'll know that the Battle of Guadalcanal was one of the pivotal battles of the Pacific Theater in World War II. It lasted, golly gee, I think from about August. Shoot, I forgot the year. I think August of 42, I think, to April of 43. My numbers might be a little off. Hey, Junior, how you doing? Good seeing you. We are peeling sweet potato, and we're talking about the Solomon Islands. After the U.S. and the Allied forces took it back, then the British got back to it, and then everyone was basically getting independent. So the Papua New Guinea became independent, and then they said, hey, we need to be independent. So in, I want to say like 75, 78, and there they became independent, and things have been kind of a mess since. I mean, I wish I could say things were rosy. They haven't been. There's been all manner of fighting and corruption. And in 2003, I believe, Australia and New Zealand had to jump in and you know, kind of quell fighting. In 2003, that's not very long ago, because it was just really a big old mess. And they're trying to get their act together, but they're not there yet, which is a shame. It's kind of considered a sort of a state, governmentally speaking, which is kind of a shame. Hey, Lydia! Hearts and flowers to thee. I'm trying to chop these ugly ends off. So we have done so many of the Pacific Island nations here on the challenge that it's becoming more of a challenge, actually, to do them. Of course, most of them predated the meerkat here. I'm trying to get flat surfaces on my sweet potato so I can make cubes of sorts. Okay, this is why I brought out my OCD assisted cutting board. so I can make these. Now I've done a number of different dishes with sweet potato for the different Pacific Island nations. I think before Meerkat, I thought I had a sweet potato because it was labeled sweet potato in the store, and I cut it open and went, oops, it's a regular potato, which was very stupid, but you know, happens. There's you know, people have asked kind of where I get my recipes, and one of the places I go to first to get a general idea is the Global Cookbook for Students, which is a flash-based cookbook, which means you can't see it on mobile devices. And I really don't like linking to recipes from there because, you know, most people these days are on mobile devices and can't see things in Flash. However, this book that has every country from soup to nuts, from A to Z, manages to just flat out skip most of these little Polynesian islands. Hey, Austin, how you doing? Good seeing you. I think I saw that you were on Periscope, too. Thank you, Austin. You are too kind. I've been looking into Periscope. That's a whole other issue. I don't want to be the last man standing on Meerkat, but sometimes I feel that sad about that. But in any case, that's a different story. I'm making cubes of my sweet potato to chop up, to boil, to make my... I'm going to make a sweet potato puree. Now, this isn't specifically a Solomon Islands dish, because basically what you'll find is sweet potato, and you'll find things with breadfruit. And if you have been watching the stream for a while, you know that when we had that string of island nations a few months back, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, kind of all in a row, that led to lots of breadfruit. I found breadfruit, and week after week I tried it, and week after week I kind of didn't do it. Did you see Jeff Needle's stream? No, I did not. What did I miss? Tell me. I did not see it. I would have liked to. Let me know if you can type it here or DM me or what have you, because I feel rather in the dark about the lowdown on just about everything. I'm just like an observer, because I tend to only be on in the mornings and then, you know, like lunchtime. And most everyone I feel is on at night, so I miss everyone. But I'm thinking like, oh wow, you know, I see that there's Periscope is on the Apple TV. I'm getting mine tomorrow. Anne Marie, hey there, thanks for the restream. But I see Periscope is on the Apple TV, and I'm like, dude, really? Is Meerkat on it? Is it gonna be on it? I don't know. They are in Israel. The U.S. team said they have been working hard. Sounds promising. Oh, good. I want them to succeed. I really, really do. But I just feel like I always feel like I'm the last person on. Like, I like something and I stick with it. You know, I'm very loyal to a thing, especially if I like it more than something else that's more popular. Like, if I had been old enough, I would have been like Mr. Betamax, you know, forever. Hey, Bob, is it Bob? Thank you for liking the restream, debating Apple TV. I'm really looking forward to mine tomorrow. I mean, I live by mine now, and I can't wait for it to do the stuff that the new one does. So, and they are just, I think they just released another beta of the OS for the developers, so they can, you know, improve on it. So I'm looking forward to the apps on there. So it's on Apple TV. Watch, can't type. Oh, the app is? They have an app for the Apple TV? Oh, that'd be wonderful. Well, yeah, watching, not typing. I mean, I know that someone pointed out ages ago, and I was just getting started on this. Oh, Periscope, I mean. Oh, okay. Mr. Betamax. I would have been Mr. Betamax. I would have been that guy going, but it's a better thing, it's smaller, but you know, I wasn't old enough for that particular debate. But you know, as the years went by, you know, I continued to, you know, when everyone else was like, get a PC, you don't want a Mac, I'm like, I had a PC, it sucked. I'm on a Mac and I'm gonna stay on a Mac and it's gonna go out of business. Apple's gonna be out of business in 6 months. I'm like, screw you. But when I first got it, I was on a thing called eWorld. Jonathan did his review last night of the stream. Apple TV is amazing. Oh, good. I mean, I've seen, you know, a number of reviews, and it's kind of pretty much exactly what, you know, what I expected. So I'll find out tomorrow. But no, back in '95, there was a thing called eWorld that Apple had. It was his own sort of like AOL type thing, online community. And I just loved it so much. And then they said, no sooner was I on it, they said, we're killing it. And I'm like, no, I like it. We're putting everyone on AOL. I'm like, I don't want to go to AOL. I refuse to go on AOL. So I spent the 90s like, I'm not going to go on AOL. So this is kind of how I feel. I'm not going to go on Periscope. Don't make me. No, but when this whole thing started, someone pointed out that, although I don't know if the latest update of the iOS lets you, to share the screen with the Apple TV. And then once you do that, you can see on the TV and type on the phone. Which was kind of cool. I was trying that once. Some guy was bungee jumping on the Meerkat, and his old GoPro on his head. I can't remember the guy's name. Kind of popular guy. I haven't seen him around lately though. So that's the world in Cliffy's technology. Like, I swear, there's a stupid little game. Hey, Stiletto Supermom, thank you for the follow. Thanks for liking the restream. How you been, my good woman? You know, funny thing, Stiletto, is that since we're cooking the Solomon Islands here, I mentioned that it's very hard to find recipes for the Solomon Islands because they don't really have too much of a cuisine. It's some basic ingredients. There is a physical cookbook, and somebody did a recipe. Yes, AirPlay. Yes. Did a particular woman who's not Stiletto Supermom, but Stiletto in the Solomons is what she goes by. But she posted a couple of the recipes from said cookbook online, and that's what we did on Friday. So we did Stiletto's recipes on Friday. So we're thinking of you. But these are one from a global cookbook that has a variety of different countries, and portions of the book are on the web, on Google Books, which means, again, you can't see them on a mobile device. You can see them on a computer because it's flash-based. This is, they mentioned a couple things that we've done already for other Oceania nations, like corned beef wrapped in, you know, banana leaves and such like that. And but it mentioned these noodles that we're doing here. So we're doing those noodles, and of course they mentioned there's you know, sweet potatoes, and someone else who's one of the two people that I know that have successfully gone from A to Z in the cooking around the world concept. One of the two did one dish, which is the exact recipe I tried for a previous country, which is just sort of like a chicken stir-fry, which was sort of okay at best when I cooked it. But she served it with, you know, like a sweet potato mash. And I said, hey, I got sweet potatoes. I can make a mash. So that's what I'm going to do. I went looking for something that would make it a little bit interesting, that wouldn't require me having to buy more ingredients. So I found this recipe for sweet potato puree, and I'm kind of doing a version of that. So if you're wondering. Hi, hon. Oh, my recipes sound delicious. Let me tell you, Friday's was really good. That fish curry was super, super good. And we served it with the green papaya curry, which I had found like one recipe for a sweet green papaya salad, which seemed kind of blah. Peace and love to all. Hey, back at ya. Thank you, you're very nice. Amazing bay. Thank you. Come on, make my finger work. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. But anyway, so doing this sweet potato puree that I found. That isn't specifically Solomon Islands-esque, but Solomonese is the word. But you know, it's the ingredients. They also eat a lot of jackfruit, which I don't know if you've ever seen. If you want to Google jackfruit, it's all one word. It's a big fruit, and it's literally about that big. It's just like big and knobby, and it's crazy. And they eat it fresh. But the thing is, I know I can find jackfruit. I know where I can find it. But the thing is, once I have this thing, you know, I mean, who's going to eat something that's like 40 pounds? You know, maybe you want to have a party. Who knows? Okay, we finally have our chopped sweet potatoes over here. So let me clean this. We're going to move on to dicing our onion, which is going to be for the noodles. Now, the thing about the noodle dish is, again, it's sort of Chinese, but there's an additional twist on it because, why? Because the recipe was sort of looking for one to make it with dried noodles, and I'm using fresh. That's a great idea. I'm going to try and mash sweet potatoes for the kids. Oh, yes. Here's the thing about this dish, which is good because I thought of just doing, you know, straight up mashed sweet potatoes, butter, and, you know, no recipe, just from, you know, basically what I know. And, but I was thinking butter isn't really, you know, of the islands. It's, you don't find butter. So, I found this recipe, which you're going to like here for the sweet potatoes, because it's also, you know, healthier and such. It doesn't involve butter, but involves the yogurt and a couple other interesting stuff, just basically mixed in to the mashed, you know, pureed sweet potatoes. Hey, Carrie Osborne, how are you doing? Thank you for the like and the restream. It is chopping onions times with Libby as we do the Solomon Islands. As I was talking about Solomon Islands, other random trivia, which you may have heard if you were here on Friday, is that in addition to being the site of Guadalcanal, the you know, the island Guadalcanal and the furious battle of Guadalcanal in World War II, also during World War II was the where Pappy Boyington was stationed, and his outfit was there. And they are just generally famous, but they were made, you know, famous in pop culture in the 70s with the Robert Conrad series Baa Black Sheep. So he played Pappy Boyington, so that would have been set, theoretically, in the Solomon Islands. Also, Jack Lord. Jack Lord? No. Who wrote White Fang? Jack Lord? Who wrote the book White Fang? I want to say Jack Lord. Jack London. Yes, I knew Jack Lord was Hawaii Five-0. Jack London. Jack London spent a good amount of time in the Solomon Islands, and he had a boat. A boat? Yes, a boat that was called the Snark, which I love that name. His boat was called the Snark, and he stayed for a time in the Solomon Islands, and it was inspiration for his books. So, by the way, thank you for the recommendation, a tweet from a couple weeks ago about using the smaller knife. That was very helpful. I'm trying to remember who did it. Our old Dutch friend. Remco, yes, Remco. Thank you for the tweet on that. That was helpful. Something I should have figured out on my own, but I did not. But you did help me. Hey, the diet in the Solomon Islands before European contact was a number of things. But it's really kind of odd because the so much, you know, was kind of imported. Like breadfruit was originally found in these islands, and then the Europeans said, "Hey, this is a good, fast source of starch for people, particularly slaves," and so we can. We can ship that to our other colonies, say in the Caribbean, and so that's why the Caribbean got all hopped up on breadfruit. I forget what the Polynesian name for it is. It just popped right out of my head. But I don't know if it's still breadfruit season, and B, I really don't want to risk screwing up breadfruit again, because breadfruit is one of those things that it is, it's sort of like an avocado, where it's like, it's not ready yet, not ready yet, not ready yet, not ready yet, right, too late, which is kind of how it goes. I've kind of been cooking it in the not ready yet portion, or the one time before in the too late portion, and either way that was not a good deal. So this sweet potato puree is going to be nice. It's just going to involve a couple basic ingredients instead of butter in there, and it's a puree. It's just in the food processor. So bring your earplugs, because that's going to be happening. But not quite now, because the food, thankfully I can sort of take my time on the prep here, because the food cooks insanely fast. For the shellfish, this recipe said you can use mussels or clams or what have you. And so I decided to get mussels. When I got my noodles, like I said, I got what you call your fresh noodles instead of dried noodles, and I kind of knew that was going to affect how this cooks, so I shouldn't straight up do the recipe the same way and just hope it works out. So after some research with the fresh noodles and such, it looks like those noodles cook in about 30 seconds in a wok. A, I don't have a wok. B, I have these mussels. And C, the recipe for all the above sort of says to boil the onions with the whatever, and then the mussels and the noodles, and but the noodles are already cooked. So what I've done is I've kind of merged two recipes. I hope you haven't gotten sick. Me? No, I have not gotten sick. You want to hear something funny about that, though? Since, we got time. Throughout all of my life, all my life, from childhood to, into my whatevers, every year, without fail, on Halloween, I've either been getting over a cold or coming down with a cold. And it's just a horrible, horrible thing for me. And so, like the last couple years, I started getting a flu shot, and I was like, yay! So, no more colds on around Halloween. I think last year I may have kind of cut it close. I might have a little bit, but I think I've really managed to avoid it. So, yay! And also, not having to deal with the change of weather here. Hey, Miss Jonesy, how are you doing? No, that was towards Diana. Oh, okay, well, I hope she hasn't gotten sick either. Miss Jonesy, how are you doing? How are things over there? Things, I did my 5 miles, no, I did my 10 miles today. And I just did them just now. Like, in the hot daylight, before sunset. So, I managed. But I tell you, I'm going to find who invented the flexi leash. I'm going to dig her up, and I'm going to desecrate her grave. Just running on the sidewalk here. People with the flexi leashes have no freaking idea what they're doing. They're holding a big giant trip here. That's my gripe of the day. I'm good, you're good. I'm glad you're good. So let me wipe this all off, and then we're going to deal with Ginger. And Marianne. The Professor and Marianne. Hey, how was Halloween, by the way? How was everybody's Halloween? Did you have a good time? Did you have trick-or-treaters? Did you go to a party? Did you just stay in and turn your lights off? Did you do anything spooky? I didn't do Halloween for years, decades even. And but when we lived in Columbus, Babs, you would know about this. They started a big street party, like right outside our front door. Like the city's big party was literally right outside, so I couldn't say no. So I had to like think about costumes and stuff. And now the street party is like an hour away in Fort Lauderdale. But we went, and nobody got my costume. At least nobody over 35 got my costume. Surprisingly, we had a few trick-or-treaters. Aha, there you go. I have not seen one trick-or-treater. I don't lie. I've seen one trick-or-treater in my adult life. So, one. And that was like, hey, we're going to arrange for somebody to come by. So, good times. So, I don't even bother buying anything, because I don't eat candy myself. So that's looking for Ginger here. Okay, so we're gonna get Ginger going a couple different ways here, because one is going to be cooked and the other is for dressing. So let's not put that away just yet. We have to peel the and as people keep telling me, the way to peel ginger is with a spoon. My daughter dressed as Marty McFly, only some of the parents knew who she was. Yes, I was, okay, I'm gonna describe what I wore, and then since you are obviously on the internet, since you are using Meerkat, I'm assuming you're a little savvier than some people. So I had my hair, pulled really tight with the part, super prominent. I let my beard grow for like 4-day growth, and I made it really, really dark. So it was like really dark, okay? I wore Timberland shoes, I wore sweatpants, and I wore a hoodie, a black hoodie with an owl on the front. And that was kind of it. Oh, and I kind of tried to dance funny in the street, but, that required, prompting. So I was doing this business. It's funny, I walked into the restaurant where we had dinner, and the server, like, in 2 seconds, she said, oh, here's your meal, blank. And I was like, wow, you got it right off the bat. But then we kept running into friends on the street. And the husband was dressed like a big Florida tourist with a big vintage camera. It was his dad's 50s brownie camera. And he had, sunglasses and a silly hat and a touristy t-shirt or a Hawaiian shirt type thing. So everyone's like, oh, you look so great. And they were looking at me like, I don't know what you are. I'm like, exactly, Miss Jonesy, thank you, you win. Thank you, Miss Jonesy, you win. I guess I was Drake in the Hotline Bling video. And but again, it's like nobody, only my black friends who came up to me. They said, "Okay, no one's gonna get that," or or my students would get that, or they'd say, "How can no one else get that?" And I'm like, I told my friends, "Oh, I'm Drake," and they're like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, "Oh, give me a break." Especially this friend who is like on the internet 24/7, and every living thing he sees that crosses his nose, he shares on Facebook. There isn't a thing in the universe that kid has not shared on Facebook. And I'm like, and you have not come across the damn memes and the videos and all that business. So my contemporaries have no idea what I'm doing. C'est la vie. It's just very, I don't know, it's really weird. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad somebody appreciates that. No, it's weird for me, because I mentioned, like, my sense of basically peeling ginger and fighting with this, that a couple weeks ago I went to speak to my alma mater, to the LGBT student group there, and telling them about my experiences, my dramatic experiences when I was a student there, and kind of thinking about how things have changed and stuff. And I was not only feeling old, The thing is, I was feeling doubly old because I mentioned before, I went back to get a second degree in 2000, at which point I was, 15 years past having graduated. I just cut the ginger small pieces and peel the knife. You're smart. Ugh, that's smart. It's just I'm needing so much of this. And, but you're right. I should do that. But anyway, I went back to school in 2000, and I was dealing with all these people who were 18 at the time. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, I know I'm 15 years older than you, but, we're getting along. And I was sort of like a mentor and stuff, which is cool. But here I go back, and I realize that now it's another 15 years later. And those kids that were 18 when I was there are now the age I was then when I went back, which kind of freaked the bejesus out of me. Because I'm like, I'm not old, I'm double old. So, there was going to be this big alumni event that they invited me to, and I'd never, ever, 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 ever wanted any association with my university because of my horrible experience there. But they were so nice, and everything was just so friendly now that I really wanted to go. But then, of course, the big event is like the one night I can't make it. So, maybe some other time. But it was really kind of cathartic, like letting go of old ghosts. They had me look at the, they found the database for the university paper, and, I searched for my name, and I saw, like, all the, I found the actual articles with all the abuse I was getting, and I was like, oh my god. That brought stuff back into high relief there. Okay, I am done with you, Mr. Ginger. Done. D-U-N, done. Okay. Almost. Okay, I mean, I'm just getting the whole damn piece. Okay, there. That's as good as that's gonna get. So, bleh! Confessionals while chopping ginger. Okay, blibbity blobbity blue. Okay, we want 1-inch knob in julienne strips. This is where this comes in. Because if you can read upside down, from that far away, it says julienne right there. So this is what I'm shooting for. This is the first time I'm doing with these, so here goes nothing. Maybe if I turn it sideways. Maybe that'll work better. Oh, brother. I am just not... It's not my forte. These are going to be fried, and then there's some that's going to be grated. So this will be grated, and these will be fried in with the onions to go in with the mussels, which is the idea. Yeah, I'm doing my best with the matchsticks here. In fact, that one-day course I took, they tried to teach how to do matchstick things, and I didn't do too terribly well. Losing you. Okay, so that looks like matchsticks, sort of. What do you think? Not the best cuts in the world, but it's something. It's something. Okay, where were we? Julienne, yes. It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. So, yes, this is, again, night 2 of the Solomon Islands. We are, oh, goodness gracious. Brrr, grumble, grumble, grumble. Hold on. And we did night 1 on Friday, night 2, and this is going to do it for the Solomon Islands. As I mentioned before, the blogs go up on Wednesday, and that has links, pictures of the recipes, information about the countries, links to these videos right here, and kind of how it went. And those are posted at cliffyland.com. That's cliffyland.com. You can follow on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook, on Tumblr, all of the above. And now we're also on YouTube. If you're on YouTube... Oh, and by the way, Miss Jonesy, thank you for being my first subscriber. I'm actually getting views on YouTube, which is kind of blowing my mind. I mean, no one's sitting through like 2 hours worth, but they can, you know, skip forward past this part right here. So if you're looking at this in the future and going, is he ever going to get to cook? You can just jump ahead. Okay, so we've got our matchsticks of our ginger over here. But this ginger over here is going to get grated, and I'm going to go the old-fashioned route on that. That's going to be sort of the dressing on one or both of the dishes. Microplane. I need an actual microplane. I have this. But I need like a real microplane. It would be nice. Would be nice. Want to hear something funny? I like watching you. Thank you, Miss Jonesy. I very much appreciate that. Whatchamacallit, the husband. Okay, what day are we looking at right now? Today is November what? November 3rd, 2015. To you in the future. Today is November 3rd, 2015. How are things after the flood? Anywho, the husband is all freaked out because he hasn't finished his Christmas shopping. Usually he's finished before Halloween. Honestly, I used to be like the guy who would shop. Hey, Miss Faye, how you doing? Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Oh, there's the husband now.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour, we're grating the ginger. Save the liver. Okay, so we have our grated ginger. Ici. Ici. Là. Okay. So, ginger. Hey, sweetie.
Hi, honey.
Now we're gonna get some garlic going. The 4th, yes. The 4th. Hey, thank you for the restream, Miss Faye. So, in looking at what to do for the ginger, for the mussels, I kind of, like I said, I had to kind of merge a couple different recipes and find, you know, what would work. And what would work in this case was to, because I have mussels and I don't have a wok, and these aren't your... Je vais bien, comment ça va? Très bien, merci. Je parle français petit peu. Et quand je parle français, je pense en l'espagnol. No c'est bon. Funny, since we're talking about French, and I'm getting garlic. We were in Paris, and I was closer, when I was in Paris, I was closer in time to, you know, my, how many years of French. So I was kind of doing okay. I went to the restaurant, and I asked for, you know, a table, and I'm getting, how much? 1 clove of garlic. And asked for a table, and then we got the table, and then the waitress came along, and then she was saying what the specials were, and I was telling her to go, you know, slower. And then she realized I didn't really speak French, and she's like, oh, because she didn't really speak English. And I said, no, like, keep going, we're gonna make this work, you know? I said, vous parlez français, je parle français, and so it kind of worked out. Except the whole week, when I kept asking for the check, I kept doing, like in Puerto Rico in Spanish, when you ask for the check, you can say, you know, la cuenta, la dolorosa, el cheque, you know? And, you know, any of those will work, at least in Puerto Rico. I don't know about, you know, other Latin American countries. But they mean sort of different things. You know, one means the check, one means, like, you know, the bill, one means, you know, the painful thing. So, but you know, either way, you get your point across. But the whole week I'd been going. This is I was thinking the count, the accounting. So I said, le compte, s'il vous plaît, le compte. And like every time, and then finally, like the fifth or sixth, you know, restaurant, the guy said, no, l'addition. You're asking for le compte. That is a fairy tale. You're asking for me to tell you a fairy tale. And I'm like, I feel so stupid. So, j'ai le racoup, s'il vous plaît. Ah, okay, well, there you go. So I was, yeah, he said l'addition. I'm like, okay, I can do l'addition, you know, but I was like, oh, I was saying le compte. And it's like, no, wrong. It's like, oh, yeah, so once upon a time, there was, asking me to tell him a fairy tale. I need 2 other things to chop. I need 4 chili peppers. Now, here's the deal with the chili pepper. Where I am, the Asian population is next to nil. If I go half an hour, there's a small population which is more Vietnamese than anything else, and that's where the Asian market is. And the Asian market is one of the only places I can find bird's eye chilies. I'm glad you liked it, Miss Faye. I'm glad I got to tell you that story. But they didn't have the fresh bird's eye chili, so I got pickled. Just in case, because, you know, every time I go, très mal, c'est très mal. Yes, we have no bananas. So, so I got the sort of the backup. I got the l'addition, c'est marche aussi. Très bien, très bien. So we're gonna get these, and I think I really should, if I have a brain in my head, I should put on the gloves for these. Because I'm going to chop 2 for 2 different parts of the recipe. And I don't want to get, you know, spicy hands. So this is the time on Sprockets when we dance. Okay. Hello, cooking. Yes, okay. And once more, I have to figure out which finger goes in where. Okay. You're supposed to be ambidextrous. Okay. And we're listening to the Papa of the Deities, the ancient something or other, the group led by Henry Maratha. Oh, speaking of these islands, just like in Papua New Guinea, there's something they used to eat, which I'm not cooking. I used to eat people. There's a lot of people eating. Like in Papua New Guinea, that didn't stop until not that long ago. Surprisingly, in Italy, after my primary schooling, I understood some of their speaking. There you go. Sweet or salt pickle? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay, this is written in Thai, so that's going to make it kind of tricky. That is a very good question. Salt. Salt, citric acid, sodium benzoate, and sodium blah, 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 so that. So salt. On the train, the conductor told my partner to get his feet off the chair. Okay. These. So, I need to get 2 ramekins for this. Because they go 2 different ways. Hold that thought. Okay. So I hope this is the same. Spicy! Yes, we like the spicy.
We do.
Yeah, he chimes in. And as I was talking to Dizzy, we were having a conversation on his stream a couple days ago. He was going on. Welcome to part 2. If you have found us, or if you are seeing this in the future, you'll know that we got disconnected. So I'm hoping that people are going to find me as I come back. As I put this glove back on. And I don't know why the damn stream got disconnected. I really don't. It just said, in fact, last time that happened, I felt sure that I was on someone else's Wi-Fi, but this time I even double-checked that I wasn't. And, boo. So, if you're coming back, thank you for making it back. If you're here for the first time, hi! We are cooking the food of the Solomon Islands. This is me still prepping and wrestling with a glove. Bleh. As we try to de-seed this red Thai chili, which is going to go in our mussels and noodles. So if you're coming back, I was in the middle of my story about Bhutan, which involved their version of mac and cheese, which was 2 cups of jalapeno peppers as the mac part of the mac and cheese, and then Szechuan peppercorns on top of that. And it was so hot, it really altered my DNA, so now I can handle hotness all day. I don't know how that happened. I really don't. I need scientists to study me. So I'm hoping people are finding their way back. Little by little, piece by piece. I really hate when that happens. That just sucks so bad. Hope that happens. People are coming back. Took me a while to plug in the information again. But I'm hoping people find it. I'm hoping that they do. So, this is me de-seeding 2 pickled bird's eye chilies, as I hope people manage to find their way back to stream part 2. Thankfully I figured out how to merge them on the YouTube. So if you're watching this in the future, this may have been, you may not have noticed a change. So, Carrie Osborne, did it drop? Yes, it dropped. Very upsetting. Hey, Miss Jonesy, thank you for coming back. Carrie, thank you for coming back. Thank you for finding it. Yes, it just out of nowhere. It said, you've been disconnected. Your stream is too weak. You know, try again from a different location. I'm like, bah! 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 Is that character, Mr. Peepers? Bah! I got a phone call, so I thought that messed with things. No, it wasn't you. Not you. Was not you. It was all some magic on this end. I don't know what this old hoo-ha does on top, but I'm putting it back. Okay. Okay, I'm back in the fridge you go. Miss Jonesy, thank you for the re-like and the re-stream. Oh, the internet gods. What to do. Okay, and I didn't need to lose those gloves just yet, which was stupid. So, new pair of gloves. What time is it? Oh, we're doing okay. Like I said, this cook is like insanely fast. Although I should probably get the sweet potatoes going on the stove any minute. But as soon as I peel this, that's gonna get going. Okay, not peel, chop. Okay, you go over here. Okay, now we're chopping, dicing this red bird's eye chili. This is gonna go in the actual noodles at the end. So one goes in the mussels. So I'm altering the recipe because the recipe I found said to cook the noodles and the mussels together. And I assumed then it meant to serve them in the shell, which I don't like doing. So I am cooking them using the method that my friend who is on Top Chef, Niels, hey there, thank you for coming back, and the like there. So this is Thai chilies part 2. But anyway, he was so kind that he, stopped his little Paris honeymoon and gave me advice on how to cook the clams I did for Sao Tome and Principe a few weeks ago. So I'm using his method to cook these mussels this time, only changing some of the ingredients because it's a different, shall we say, flavor profile. This is more Asian. So, but that's I'm getting the garlic from his idea. I hope the garlic is not too outre, too uncommon for Solomon Islands. I doubt it would be. Solomon Islands, in terms of land, is very small, but not insanely small. It covers about the same amount of territory as Niels, as the state of Maryland, in case you were wondering. But like I said, it is politically, it's a very strange and complicated place. Okay, so yay, we're ready here on this end. So let me dump all this stuff in the sink, and then we're gonna actually get cooking. So we came into part two. Part two is the part where we cook. I kind of knew this prep was almost done, unless it drops again, in which case I'm gonna be really mad. Ron, hey man, how you doing? Long time no see. Was thinking about you. Exciting goings on in your neighborhood. Saw in the paper about the guy in the McDonald's around the corner from you. Did you see? Tom, did you read this?
What's that?
About the guy in the McDonald's in Abacoa.
No.
Like dude came in and he wasn't wearing a shirt. And he had a plastic bag, which had, you know, the shirt was in it and wrapped around stuff.
Okay.
And so they said, you gotta put a shirt on, you gotta put a shirt on. Doing fine, what? Yes, hey Diana, thanks for liking the restream. No, so they said you have to put a shirt on. We can't serve you if you don't get a shirt on. So he said, okay, fine. And he dug into that bag that he had the shirt. And the shirt was wrapped around 2 shoes. And in the shoes were 2 guns.
Oh my.
And so now you could see the guns. And so they found him just kind of sitting in the back of the McDonald's, and the cops just said, yeah, those guns, do you have a... No, I don't have a license for those guns. These are stolen guns. So he went bye-bye. It's all because he didn't want to wear a shirt. And that was a very odd neighborhood for that kind of thing to happen. So, it's about as low-key as it gets, so I was surprised. Okay, so that's now you know what happened in your neighborhood. But overnight? I think it was last night. Or Sunday, one of the two.
Wow.
It's like 12:30. It's 12:30 at night. Like, so it was late. The dude, like, needed a snack. So...
Or you get breakfast.
Or breakfast. You could get breakfast anytime at McDonald's now. Maybe that's what he wanted. He needed a 12:30 a.m. Egg McMuffin. So I didn't know. You never know. You do never know. I mean, I've lived in neighborhoods where crazy, crazy stuff happen on the regular. But here things are, you know, very low key, which I'm good with. I've had enough. I could do a whole stream on the crazy that I've been experienced, places I have lived. I do not want to repeat that. Okay, so sweet potatoes go into the water and they boil for about 15 minutes. So that's gonna get them all soft. So while that happens, now I need to keep an eye on this, and I need to clean the mussels. So it's mussel cleaning time. So I got mussels. Mussels. I never eat at McDonald's. Neither do I. I can't remember the last time I ate at McDonald's. I mean, it's been that long. I mean, I used to know, like, where every single one was. You know, everywhere. Kathy! Hey, Kathy. Thanks for liking the restream. Now, I know there happens to be one nearby, but it's... like, I kind of don't even want to know that it's there. There's, like, a whole collection of, like, garbage food places right near me. But this is not garbage food. These are live mussels. Now, when I was getting my noodles at the Asian market, and I found the fresh noodles, and that's kind of why this is all kind of a little bit different than normal. I'm getting a colander for these. I wanted fresh noodles, and I saw that they had frozen New Zealand mussels, which would be okay, because New Zealand's a lot closer to Solomon Islands than, you know, Florida. But these mussels come from Prince Edward Island. They're live mussels. So I've been storing them in the fridge. You have mussels, mussels. Ooh. Dan Ross song. Written by Michael Jackson, of all people. who had a boa constrictor named Mussels. More random trivia for you. And I spilled the mussels water all over the stove, which is just really... yummy North Sea mussels. Exactly, Nils, Mr. Belgium, of course. We did not have mussels when we cooked Belgium, which we kind of should have, because that's kind of the national thing, but I was really kind of afraid to, if I'm being honest. So now I'm going to give it a shot. This is my actually first time myself cooking mussels. So I believe I cleaned them to rinse out any sand, allegedly. Which I hope will do the job. Sing it, Cliffy. Thank you. Nobody knows that song now. I would be stunned if I turned on a radio. I'd be stunned if I turned on a radio, period. But I'd be stunned if I turned on a radio and heard that song. There seems to be, like, you know, every year, you know, the world decides there are, like, sex songs which will, you know, last in perpetuity, and the others will be forgotten for all time. And then you will hear them in the grocery store, in the dentist's office, you know, wherever you go the rest of your life, and the others will be forgotten. You're a wealth of information. Thank you, I try. I try. I have like a weird memory. I don't want to say I have a photographic memory, but my brain collects more information and stores more random stuff than it probably should. Sometimes it's handy to forget stuff. Meanwhile, we've rinsed our mussels, and I should take a picture of them for posterity, for the blog, which again is at cliffyland.com. Mussels. There you go. Nice and clean. Okay, so here goes nothing. Okay. I'm gonna need, since I don't have a wok, I do have my other saucepan, so one is gonna have to pretend to be a wok. You know, you think at by this point I'd actually have a wok. But I don't know where the bloody hell I can store it, because we have like every other thing in the world. So that would be a challenge. So we've got this saucepan, which we're going to magically declare is a wok. Okay, and into you, I'm going to heat you up a little bit, and I'm going to put in the, let me make sure I got this right, the canola oil in here, which is behind the virgin olive oil. Okay, so we've got the canola oil, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. So one thing I have learned, especially with nonstick, I mean not necessarily the ceramic one, but you should never heat up a nonstick pan with nothing in it, for a number of reasons, especially if it's Teflon. Then you're kind of destroying the atmosphere and stuff. Walk this way, walk this way. Okay, so once we have that, we're going to start, I have it on a medium-low wok for me. Cute. That's gonna have to remember. Oh, that reminds me. Shoot, I didn't, did I? Okay, hold that thought while I wait for that to tie up. You just reminded me. I need to update myself. By the way, if you're follow on Facebook, you can follow the blog at Cliffyland, the Global Cooking Adventure, right there. Okay, hold on. Tonight, we grab our outrigger canoes and coconuts and dine on the food of ... Solomon Islands. Period. Okay. And it got the word dying wrong. That's not good. No. Let go. I'll be right with you, people. Is this something I should have taken care of beforehand? You think I would remember to do it, but I'm just waiting for this to heat up. Dine, D-I-N-E. Not D-Y-A-N-G. I-N-E. Speech recognition is okay, but you grab, no, not her, our. Come on, let go. Our, O-U-R. I'll be right with you. O-U. Oh, why is it not grrr? Canoes. Oh boy, I could have typed this out faster. Right with you. Oh, my stuff is bubbling. Dine on the food. Okay, boom, gone. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now that is heated up, and I have done what I should have done before. And our sweet potatoes are boiling. This is hot, so in we go. We're used to it, Cliffy. Take your time. Thank you, Ron. So this is the part that I find weird. I'm putting the shells, the mussels, in here into this knot walk picture. And then we're adding the garlic and the chili peppers. So let me get my spatula here. So adding the left hand, right hand, garlic here, and we'll take care of you in a minute, and the chili peppers here. And I gotta scoop the rest of this out because it sticks. Oh, it's weird when that stuff just boils like that. Okay, so we have that in there, and quickly we're going to cover this with, now this is not part of the recipe. This is sort of what, back from, like I said, my Top Chef friend suggested. Oh my goodness. How to cook those clams, and so I'm doing a variation of that with a bottle of white wine. And as I mentioned in previous occasions, we really don't drink wine around here, so any wine we get tends to be like, you know, hey, you're coming over for dinner, they bring a bottle of wine and go, great, now let's go sit in the cabinet. So I had to use some of it for a previous recipe, and I said I'm never going to finish it, and now, ta-da, I get a chance to finish off a bottle of white wine. So in goes the white wine. Ta-da! And I'm going to cover the rest with water. Because I knew that wouldn't be enough. It's supposed to be something like 4 cups. Which sounds about right. Ta-da! So, you are now, what are you doing? Boil. So we're going to let it boil for 5 minutes. I'm going to cover it. I seem to recall that was part of the equation. You belong to you? Yes, no, maybe? Yes, correct. Drunken mussels! Yes. Yes, the wine is not part of the regular recipe here. But what my Top Chef friend had suggested, which we did for Sao Tome and Principe, was to cook it with garlic, crushed garlic, and thyme. But we're not doing the thyme part. So boil these for about 5 minutes until they start to open, and then take them out as they open and put them on a plate somewhere. So, plate. He said plate, so plate is going to be. The goal here is to cook the mussels, but not to overcook the mussels. So that's my thinking here. So they're going to come out with a slotted spoon onto the plate as they open, and then throw out any ones that don't open because they're dead and not good, and then put those in the fridge to arrest the cooking process while the rest cooks, and then it goes back in, and I'm going to take the out of the shells. I'm getting hungry in the middle of the night. Ah! Time for a midnight snack. I need to get some water. Be right with you. Getting a little parched. Let's listen to music of the Solomon Islands. I noticed that I have a big vat of Korean super hot pepper paste in the fridge. Mussels of Belgian fries, holy moly. You know, I did the Belgian fries for Belgium, Nils, I did, and they were really good. I should have done the mussels, but I didn't do the mussels because I was scared. I don't like any food that I have to, like, you know, fight with. That's why shellfish annoys me. But, you know, this time we're going to make it work, and we're going to, you know, pull them out of the shells before they go back in the noodles, which is what's going to happen over there. Meanwhile, while this cooks, holy moly, we have our sweet potatoes over here, which are cooking, and I want to see how done they are, because they're going to have to get pureed, like, so they have to be really soft. They kind of are already. Yeah, they are. So while these cook for another 4 minutes or so, I need to drain the sweet potatoes. So here comes Mr. Colander again. If I can... Excuse me. You know, I wish Facebook had a way that for like your personal page that you could time status updates for the future. Like Joan Rivers timed her plug for whatever phone or something. Like it appeared like after she died, and everyone, what the hell happened? So, I gotta drain these, so I'm gonna have to go that way. So over there, that's my target. That's where I'm gonna land with this and this. Hopefully I don't die. Okay. Into you. There they go. Get out. Out. Out, out, out. Okay. Stragglers. Okay. David Dorian Ross, how are you doing, my good man? I'm doing well. Tai Chi. Sweet potato Tai Chi. So.
You smell red palm oil?
You do not smell red palm oil. That would be Africa. These are sweet potatoes. So that's what you're smelling. Sweet potatoes. And that's going to happen rather quickly, but I need to check in here, see how my mussels are doing. Are they opening? Is this too crowded? I need to pull them out as they open. That feels a little crowded. But no one said anything about that, so I'm kind of, again, not the expert in cooking the shellfish. Doing well, but now I'm hungry. Well, enjoy. So mussels. So open. You have opened over here. Smell the wine too. This has got all the red wine. Oh, sorry, the white wine that's in here. So taking the ones that have opened out. You have opened. Hello. Come here, my pretty. Yeah, it's like lobster. That's another thing. It's like I cooked lobster tail for Comoros island nation off the coast of Africa. In case you're wondering where it is, off between Madagascar and Mozambique on the east coast of Africa. It's where all your vanilla comes from. So I did a vanilla and shallot sauce with lobster tail, and the sauce was fine, but lobster's such a pain to freaking work with that that did not help. Just shake the mussels around; they normally open quickly. Oh, thank you, Hector. That actually sounds like a great idea. Mussels and white wine. And it's all getting all frothy, which I did not expect. Thank you for the tip, Hector. Again, I'm seeing... I'm the people who I follow on Twitter, I'm trying to follow on Periscope too, to see, you know, what the action there is. You know, I rarely ever open that. I just opened it, and I was looking for who was geographically close to me. The only thing that was like you probably don't know South Florida, but it's like a suburb. It was a suburb of Fort Lauderdale. And it was this kid's, like, leaving school. I just dropped the mussel into the water. Shoot. But it was all Russian. They were all speaking Russian, and everything was written in Russian. I was like, am I even sure that you're in Florida, or you're actually in Russia? I felt like asking, but they were all speaking Russian and typing in Russian, so... Go figure. Okay. Yes, there's a mussel hiding at the bottom of all this. It fell out of its shell. Pulling mussels from a shell. Anybody know that song? Pulling mussels from a shell. Everybody thought it was like pulling mussels for Michelle, but it's pulling mussels from a shell. Open, yes. Goodness, that's a lot of them. These are 2 pounds, by the way. It said to buy 2 pounds, about 2 pounds. How much meat you actually get out of 2 pounds of mussels is another question altogether. Okay. Come back. Yes, there's a little mussel floating around. Oh, I'm gonna have to pull them out of the chabón. Se fastidió eso. There you are. This is a slower process than I expected. It's because there's so many. Some of these shells are empty. They made a break for it. Mm-hmm. That smells really good with the white wine. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you got some use out of that white wine. It's just been sitting there forever otherwise. Tend to drink craft beers around here. By the way, there's a thing I saw. I don't know exactly where I saw it, but it has a map of Europe. And it was things in different colors, and it was saying, kind of showing what grows in different climates across Europe. And you see one band is green, one band is blue, one band is yellow. And it was saying, like in the southern portion near the Mediterranean, this whole band, grapes grow, and so that's where they drink wine. And then there's other places further north where, you know, barley and hops grow, and so they drink beer. And then there's places further north where, what is it, juniper or whatever? And they said, oh, this is vodka, hard liquor. And
potatoes.
Potatoes, that's it. Potatoes. And it was curious that like what countries drink for alcoholic beverages depends largely on what grows in their climate. Mm. So, you would think I would be a beer drinker, a wine drinker, but I'm not. Mm. This one didn't open. Does that open? Does that look open to you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So these are going to go in the fridge, like I said, to arrest the cooking process, if I haven't already left it sitting there too long. Okay, this is... No, that's open too. Okay. Or is there anything left in here? Anything. Last call for mussels. Okay. So this is going to go in there.
In where?
In there.
In this pot?
No, in the sink. I'm dumping this in the sink.
Okay.
So, I'm hoping there's not a mussel lying in the bottom. And I know there's stuff you can do with this water, but unfortunately that's not.
What?
I'm not going to toss that just yet. I might need it. But right now I need to get to other things. I need to put this in the fridge.
I guess you don't need the ones that are empty, right?
Yeah. So in the fridge it goes. Okay. Hold on. Picture.
There's another empty one.
Okay. So in the fridge. Okay, now quickly, let me finish with this. So saucepan. Anything with water? No more water. Am I absolutely sure there's nothing with water? No. Okay, so this can definitely go. Okay. This, like I said, I merged two recipes. And one of them involved dried noodles, and the other one did not. And these are fresh, so I'm kind of remaking one that's used and made in a wok. Speaking of which, I need one of those saucepans.
Well, this one's clean.
Okie dokie, I will use it then.
I guess you don't want that mussel to go. It just went down the drain.
Oh well. Oopsie. That was not. Okay. So here we're going to make believe this is the wok this time. Wok, don't run. And one more time. So canola oil goes in here. Lydia, thanks for coming back. Thanks for the like and the restream. Robin, thank you for the like. So this is our fake wok. Our white saucepan. I apologize for the white balance issues. It will change as I add stuff to the pot. Trust me. So as that heats up, we're going to add in the onions and ginger and soy sauce, which I did not set aside. Onions, ginger, soy sauce over my head. As I mentioned before, there are many different kinds of soy sauce. One that I bought when I cooked Japan was this one, which is a light, thin color soy sauce. You can see how huge this bottle is. And so I finally am getting to the bottom of it. So it said nothing in terms of like how much soy sauce to add. So soy sauce, the chili peppers are going to go in. The ginger is going to be on top. And then the noodles. So while that heats up, I'm going to open up the package of noodles. These are fresh noodles, which is why I was kind of freaked out about, how it cooks and such. So these are Thai-style rice noodles over here, which would be more like pad Thai. So tear off. So these cook like in 30 seconds, allegedly. That's what the package says. I've never dealt with them myself. So we're gonna see how that goes. We do have some dried rice noodles now that I think, but probably not enough. So these are fresh. And, when it talks about how to make this pad Thai, it just says a wok, blah, 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 quick stir fry for 30 seconds, another 30 seconds. So I'm really hoping that does the job. So into here, now that it is a bubbling, we're going to add our onions. So onions go into that. It's going to go poop. And the onions, and then the ginger goes in. And we're going to cook these until they soften. Allegedly. That's a little high. Okay. So I'm moving it to like a more of a medium high. Meanwhile, my potatoes are sitting there cooling off, which they're going to have to heat up again in some vessel after I do everything I'm going to do with that. Ugh. I'm going to turn this down some. Trying to think about timing. You know what? Yes, okay. I think I'm good. So these get softened, and once these are softened, then we're going to add the second half. These are the chopped red chili peppers that I did de-seed earlier, so it's not like insanely hot. Ow. Not like hot like steaming in your hands, but you know, different kind of hot. So again, we're making believe this is a wok. Watch it spin. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Okay, wow, really? Are you kidding me with this? Okay, this is yowza. I need to shell the. Whoa! I need this. The timing on this is very weird. I'm turning that down. Hopefully, it's gonna be okay. I'm turning it down, because I need to shell those mussels super fast. So this is like seems like a job that needs like 8 hands, all working simultaneously. Okay, I don't know what instrument one tends to use to shell mussels, so I'm just going to use a spoon. Where's a knife called for? A knife is called for, shoot. Where's my knife? I don't know how this works. Really, honest to God, never done this before. Never done this before. That one doesn't want to give. Okay. Bah! This feels like a Top Chef challenge. How fast can you take the mussels from the shell? Considering you've never ever done it before, other than when someone served you mussels. That one doesn't look too good, to be honest. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be here all day. You go here. Okay, talk to me, people. See how fast I can shell mussels. Oh, yeah. Okay, fast. Padma and Tom are staring you down. The winner wins a trip to the Solomon Islands. All expenses paid. You have 30 seconds. Chefs, your time starts now. I can't wait till Top Chef comes back. I have had a craving for it.
Top Chef?
Top Chef, yes. It's been too long. We tend to go to all the Top Chef contestants' restaurants wherever we can find them. It's not too good, that one. We've gone to a few in Miami, and you know, around the country. And like I said, my Top Chef friend, he had a pop-up. When I finally got to meet him in person, he had a pop-up here in Miami Beach, actually, and that was super cool. I would use a fork on my fingers, says Carrie. One for me, one for you. Yes. That tastes good. Taste the wine too. Yeah, you can definitely taste the wine. There's a hint of the chili, which is good. It's not like hot, because there's hot in the oil over there, which my onions are on low.
Hot heat.
Hot heat. But then I need to puree those sweet potatoes and add the whatever is being added to them. God, here I thought dinner was going to be early. Imagínate. I thought it was going to be like, oh, look, it's 7 o'clock, we're ready. Silly me. We're almost there. But they smell really good, and they taste. I tasted one. They're very good also. Eek! Eek. Diana, eek. Eee, scary knife coming at you. Okay. Mussels, pulling mussels from a shell. I really should be playing that. Nobody knows that song? Pulling mussels from a shell. Pulling mussels from a shell. It's a really good song. It's by Squeeze. Called Mussels from a Shell. Not Mussels for Michelle, but Mussels from a Shell. It's a very, very good song by Squeeze. Off the album Argy Bargy. Argy Bargy is the album. More random information for your head. Okay. Almost there. This one doesn't seem too happy. Tastes good. But they need to be warm. Last one, people. Not something I will try. Oh, they're tasty. Just a pain in the butt, but they're tasty. And normally you don't see, you know, them in this process. Rugga. Okay, so now, you know, since I have a second, I'm gonna stop this because I don't want these to overcook. I'm gonna get to my sweet potatoes and the food processor. This is the part that's gonna get loud. So brace yourselves. The hell's happening here? Okay. So sweet potatoes are going to go in the food processor, not the blender, but the food processor. Diana, you should try it though, really. The frog legs, except frog legs are a pain. Because, I mean, they taste good, but there's just too much trouble for too little food. That's the only thing I don't like about them. They had an opportunity to make them before, but I didn't. But who knows? Okay, so into here, I need a spoon or something. Here, you. Spatula. Okay, sweet potatoes in to the food processor. Please fit, I beg of you. You're not gonna fit, are you? You're gonna make life really difficult for me. Shenanigans. I have to do it in batches. I hate doing that. Oh well. Here goes. You may want to hit the mute button. So mute button on your phones, on your earplugs, because this gets loud, okay? So brace yourselves. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop. We had sweet potatoes mashed. Ah, cool. These were adding stuff to these sweet potatoes. We are adding a 3/4 cup of yogurt. However much yogurt we have, it's going to be this much. So, yogurt going into the sweet potatoes. Need the picture. I'm hoping those onions are just going to like sit there and eventually caramelize. Focus. Thank you. Okay. So, somebody tweeted something. No add through the top. It's going to be harder to get in. I mean, if I was adding more, I would. Of the sweet potatoes, but this would be difficult to cram through the top. But anyway, we're adding this yogurt into our sweet potato. It said it should be Greek yogurt, but again, this is just, you know, we're kind of faking this recipe here. So we're not being, you know, insanely loyal. 1/2 cup of milk, and it's that low-fat milk, which, you know, oddly enough is what we use here. Again, this is not really, you know, super authentic. I'm not going, you know, measuring or anything this time either, so. That feels like half a cup. Milk and hopefully we have a lime. The sweet potatoes, not yogurt. Yes, okay, gotcha. Okay, lime. Do we have any limes left? We have a half a lemon. Aha.
Lime?
Yes, we always have limes. Always make sure to buy limes. You never know when you need a lime. 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 I won't cut the knife again. So we're adding the juice of 1 lime. Carajo. Okay. Se me sale lo puertorriqueño. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to heat this back up again on the stove when it's done. Picture. Everything needs a picture. Okay, there. And we'll get our other lime going. Other half of a lime. These limes have been sitting there for a little while. And it just sprayed in my face. Okay. Limes accomplished. And salt. Salt. Okay. Salt. Okay. And we're going to blend again. And thank you, so we'll do this. So again, earplugs. I'll give you the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Mute can come. You can come back. Jonathan, thank you for liking the restream. So now we have our puree of sweet potato stuff. Yay! So a picture of that, and then I'm going to put that in a pot to heat it up again a little bit while we do the rest. So I'm going to move you back over. You can watch this. Watch that. I need bowl. I'm running out of bowls. Okay, bowl. Sweet potatoes go in a bowl. I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me? You can't see me. Okay, this is very stuck. She not come out. She's having trouble coming out. She's the Jodie Foster of sweet potatoes. Okay. So it's a sweet potato mush puree with garlic and such. And you know what Cliffy should do right now? Taste it. For seasoning, maybe? You read my mind. You indeed read my mind. That is exactly what I was going to do. See, isn't it good that I remembered it before you even said it? Question is how I get that sharp thing out of there. Ay. Okay. There. Okay, tasting time. Okay. Tasting. Very tasty. Maybe a hint more salt. Maybe just a hint of more salt. Might need a pot to keep that warm in. Hopefully that'll fit. Okay, small element. Okay. So, oh yes, I was going to season it, wasn't I? Okay. I will taste again, I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. I promise I will taste again after I mix it all in. Okay. Where did my spoon go? Here. Okay, tasting. It's very tasty. I mean, it's like supremely tasty. So, yay. Okay, so I'm putting this back in this pot here to keep it warm. While the rest of the stuff cooks, so it shouldn't take too long. Like I said, theoretically these noodles cook like almost instantly. And the mussels are already cooked, they just need to be heated up. So that's my thought process. In case you were wondering. This messy, messy sweet potato. Okay. Taste it for, oh yeah, you just read that. Okay, so back to you. So here, these onions have been going. We're gonna add the soy sauce to these as I heat this back up again. They should not have been sitting there for that long, but that's what happens. I have to cook things at the same time. Soy sauce. And that has salt in it. So I have to bear that in mind when I season this at the end. So these go in here. Now it smells all like all kinds of soy sauce. This is all here. And now we have the mussels back in, which are gonna go heat them back up. I'm hoping this is the correct order of things. Heat up the mussels here at the end, and then now add the noodles, which supposedly cook very, very fast. It didn't say anything about adding water, anything like that. It just said, you know, put them in the wok and, you know, cook them for about a minute. So that's what we're gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know how you break this up. I've never cooked with this before. Just so, I don't know. Oh, again with that weird music thing. There's some weird instrument they use. It sounds like feedback. This is wrong. This is wrong. I'm telling you, this is wrong. This needs to be torn up somehow. This is like iPod earbuds after they've been in your pocket. Find a way to make themselves into a knot. Okay. I don't know how you cook these. I really don't. It didn't say anything about water. There's no reference of adding water. Said nothing about adding water. So I don't know how the hell they soften without water. I'm gonna look at the package again. Because it said, you know, heat the wok, blah blah blah, add the whatever, stir fry, push the noodle aside, cook the egg, stir another 30 seconds, the sauce, blah blah blah, another 30 seconds. That's all it says. So it doesn't say anything about, you know, putting in water or anything. These are rice noodles. These are, I guess, pad thai noodles. So I'm trying to soften them and break them up. And mix them. It's easier said than done. Because they're a little al dente. They're fresh. They're fresh, you know, not dried. These are fresh from the package. I'm sorry the lighting is so weird. It looks like a big white blob. Trying to get the mussels in there. I have it at kind of a medium heat. I should do something. I should cover the sweet potatoes. That's not the right lid. It's not the right lid either. Somewhere's the right lid. Oh God, Okay, meanwhile, back to noodles. Soften. I need you to soften. I don't know. Obviously a wok, I guess a wok shaped differently does different stuff. The noodles soft on the package. They're fresh, and they're you know, like that. They're like al dente. So I need to make them softer. They're fresh, not dried, so there's nothing about boiling them in any water or anything like that. But pad thai is, the noodles tend to be really messy. If you've ever had pad thai, they stick together. The noodles clump together a lot already. Stuff is sticking to the bottom. I have it on a medium heat. But they are softening, but they're just not breaking up. Which, again, if you've ever had pad thai, you know that's how the noodles act. I'm trying to integrate it with the mussels, and that's not really working out too well. Like a fork would be better, or chopsticks. You know, come to think of it, I don't have chopsticks though. Taste. Tasting would be good. Okay, fork. Taste. Oh! Trying to lower the heat now. Jeez Louise. Thank you. Sometimes the obvious decision is the right one. Sorry, noodle got caught in my throat there. That was a little scary. Can you do the Heimlich maneuver? Next time, cut them up with scissors to make them manageable. Thank you. Say what? A little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, hey, they're finally softening. Yay. The noodles. Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for. Cut them with the scissors. That would be logical. Things that are logical for $100, Alex. Okay. Okay. Let's see what Mr. Tasting has in store this time. This is the weirdest music of all. It just beats out the drums. This is just some like some weird flute action they have. See, this is so damn big. My mother's gonna be saying, I can hear my mother now. I saw the people telling you are doing too big. You need to do smaller. You're tasting it too much. It's too big. You need the smaller pieces. See, that's as small as I got. Ay, caray. Could use more salt though. Okay, so we've got that pepper. We'll taste again. Turn that down. That's getting overdone. Ciao. Score. Okay, so are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Okay, tignan na head off. I feel bad. I need to do something really fast that I should have done earlier. I should have done it earlier, but I did not do it earlier because I forgot. So. Dang it. No. Yes. My green onions for the dressing, for to dress the dish. 2, 3. This is the weirdest music in the history of the world. I apologize for the music. Okay. So chop garbage. Trash goes here. Okay. Chopping the scallions. When I used the raw scallions for dressing on the fish curry on Friday, the husband was kind of freaked out thinking they were scales and he didn't eat them. So hopefully this will work better this time. I hope. Okay. Garbage. Okay. Okay. Into the ramekin you go. Alrighty, I think we're ready to serve. Yay. Ginger. Grated ginger. And this. And I have a huge mess on my hands here, counter-wise, which I need to clean up so I can plate. We are like a minute behind. Okay. It's you. Okay. Plating time. Okay. Bowl doesn't go in there. Okay. Plating time. Bah. Okay. Hit me. Noodles. Noodles, and then they drip. Okay. Noodles. Oy, esta cosa. Okay, so how am I going to grab these noodles? Tongs. I don't know how you can see. Woo! Oh boy. Get some mussels going on there. The whole purpose of this. Okay, plate 1. After wrestle the noodles onto the plate. Now, can you see? I can't tell what you're seeing. Okay. Step 2, plate switch. Okay. I myself. Oh, and I didn't take a picture Friday. I did not take a picture of the final product, which is a very bad thing. I had to take it from a screenshot of the video, which looked like poo. So the food tasted really good. So that. Okay, so there's our Moundo noodles. Some leftovers for me for tomorrow. And scoop to serve the sweet potatoes. Yeah, I had that on too high. Mounds of food. This is not a plating joy. Just I failed the plating challenge. These will be dressed with okay. Here, get close. This is good dressed with the chopped scallions and the grated ginger. For taste and color. Don't know how one sprinkles grated ginger without it looking like plop. I do not know the answer to that question. I'll put a couple of the scallions on the sweet potatoes just because. Give it some color, I guess. Okay, I need to wash my hands. And take a picture. And then we eat. 5 minutes late. Okay, so we have... No, come back. Alrighty, everybody. So, we have our noodles with shellfish here, and our sweet potato puree over here, and that is night 2 of the Solomon Islands. So thank you for joining us for tonight's part 2 challenge, or cut off or interrupted challenge. That does it for the Solomon Islands. Look for the blog tomorrow at cliffyland.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. The noodles combined with the... Yes, the noodles are combined with the onion, soy, the mussels, and the chili. Yes, they are. Cliffyland.com. Follow us on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on YouTube. Go to find Cliffyland on YouTube and subscribe. That would be super cool. Thank you, Carrie Osborne, for the follow. Thank you, everybody. Catch you next time. Oh, next week is Somalia. However, we have a weird situation because the Sunday dinner is this one right here won't be here. So I'm going to be cooking for a guest, maybe more. So, I don't know. Pressure. So, we're going to see. And if you're in the area, you want some food, DM me on Twitter. And then there'll be Tuesday of next week will be a late dinner for Somalia. So check out next week Somalia, this week Solomon Islands, blog, cliffyland.com. Thank you. You guys are the greatest. Love you.